Good morning. You're listening to History Resonance. I'm Brad Carter. The date is April 26, 1986. We interrupt our regular programming to bring you reports from northern Ukraine, where an incident has been reported at a nuclear power facility near the city of Pripyat. Emergency crews have been dispatched to the area, and authorities are currently assessing the situation. Details remain limited at this hour. For the latest information, let's go directly to our correspondent near Pripyat. Katie, what can you tell us?
Thank you, Brad. I'm reporting from the outskirts of Pripyat, just a few kilometers from the power station. Throughout the morning, emergency vehicles have continued arriving at the facility. Fire engines, medical teams, and additional personnel have been observed entering the area. Residents are aware that something unusual has occurred, but very little official information has been released. Many people have gathered outside apartment buildings, discussing rumors and trying to understand exactly what happened during the night. Several witnesses have told us they noticed an unusual glow above the facility before sunrise. Others report seeing helicopters moving toward the power station since the early morning hours. Despite the growing concern, life in the city continues largely as normal. Schools remain open. Public transportation is operating. Shops are open for business. However, there is a noticeable sense of uncertainty among local residents. Many people are asking questions, but very few answers are currently available. Back to you, Brad.
Thank you, Katie. Authorities have confirmed that an accident occurred during overnight operations at reactor number 4. At this time, officials continue to insist that the situation remains under control. Engineers and emergency crews are still working at the site as investigators attempt to determine the extent of the damage. Meanwhile, reports continue to arrive from the region. Witnesses describe increased activity around the facility, while emergency personnel remain highly visible throughout the area. Questions are beginning to emerge regarding the seriousness of the incident. However, officials have not yet provided detailed information. We will continue to monitor developments as they become available. And now, we are receiving what may be the most significant update of the day. Authorities have announced preparations for a temporary evacuation of Pripyat. For more on that development, let's return to Katie. Katie, what is happening there now?
Brad, the situation has changed dramatically since our last report. Over the past hour, hundreds of buses have entered the city and are now positioned throughout major streets and public gathering areas. Loudspeaker announcements are being broadcast across Pripyat. Residents are being instructed to gather essential belongings, identification documents, and prepare for temporary relocation. Families are leaving apartment buildings carrying bags, suitcases, and personal items. Many residents appear calm, largely because officials continue to describe this evacuation as a precautionary measure expected to last only a few days. However, there is growing concern among some citizens. Many people are asking where they are being taken and when they will be allowed to return home. Traffic throughout the city has increased considerably. Public squares that were busy with everyday activity this morning are now filled with buses and emergency personnel. The atmosphere is orderly, but there is an unmistakable feeling that something serious is unfolding. Back to you, Brad.
Thank you, Katie. As evacuation efforts continue in Pripyat, reports are now beginning to emerge from outside the Soviet Union. Monitoring stations in several European countries have detected unusual readings in the atmosphere. Scientists are now attempting to determine whether those readings are connected to the incident near Pripyat. At this stage, many questions remain unanswered. Officials have released only limited information regarding the condition of the reactor and the potential consequences of the accident. Throughout the day, Helicopters have reportedly continued operating over the facility. Emergency crews remain on site. Medical personnel continue their work. Engineers are attempting to stabilize the situation. As evening approaches, thousands of residents have now left the city. The streets that were busy only hours ago are becoming increasingly quiet. Apartment buildings stand nearly empty. Schools have closed. Businesses are shutting their doors. What began as an ordinary spring morning has transformed into one of uncertainty and concern. Tonight, the world watches closely as more information slowly emerges from northern Ukraine. The full extent of the damage remains unknown. What is certain is that this day will be remembered for years to come. You've been listening to History Resonance. The date is April 26, 1986. We will continue to bring updates as more information becomes available. For everyone here at History Resonance, I'm Brad Carter. Thank you for listening. Good night.